A 75-year-old Cuban man just died while in ICE custody, and the Trump administration is going to have some major explaining to do. This death is also bad news for the budget bill. Stay with us to learn why. Welcome to Occupy Democrats. I'm David Reddish. This breaking story takes us to the great state of Florida, home of my alma mater and the Florida Man Challenge. And if you haven't yet taken the Florida Man Challenge, you are missing out. Try it after this report. At the moment, Florida has become a hotbed of activity, not just because of its penchant for meth usage. As the Trump administration continues to brutalize and detain immigrants, regardless of their legal status, without warrants, Florida Governor and human animatronic Ron DeSantis has announced the building of a new concentration camp. Yes, really. And get this, it's called Alligator Alcatraz. And Floridians are not happy.
Also developing protests in South Florida this weekend, all ahead of the opening of a controversial new detention center for illegal immigrants. The facility known as Alligator Alcatraz is set to officially begin operations tomorrow.
But many are not happy about it, and some have even taken the fight to court. News 6's Mark Lehman following the latest live for us in studio now, and this is in a very remote area, Mark.
Yeah, and I want to show you exactly what we're talking about here. The facility is using an old landing strip and training base right in the middle of the Everglades. As we zoom out here, you can see the thinking is if someone were to escape, they'd really have nowhere to go. But the whole thing is also facing pushback from everyone from immigration advocates to environmentalists.
We're here to show that we care about this land.
From the heart of the Everglades, crowds gathered over the weekend to protest construction of a detention center for illegal immigrants dubbed Alligator Alcatraz.
We're not going to just let this happen. We're not going to back down and just kind of let them do whatever it is that they want.
The demonstration coming on the heels of a federal lawsuit filed on Friday. The environmental groups behind it say the facility threatens ecologically sensitive areas. It's an argument that was brushed off by Governor Ron DeSantis.
They're trying to use the Everglades as a pretext just for the fact that they oppose immigration enforcement. I mean, let's be clear. That's where you are on the far left. Now they don't want the laws enforced at all.
Supporters say housing migrants there will ensure no one escapes because the surrounding area is marshland full of wildlife, but opponents are calling it political theater. The controversy growing after the Department of Homeland Security posted an AI-generated meme on social media that shows alligators representing immigration and customs enforcement agents outside the soon-to-be-built detention center.
It's totally un-American. Yes, we know that this is a political stunt. We know this is meant to grab headlines.
And fair warning, it gets worse. Stay with me. This is where we are. Alligator ICE agents and concentration camps in Florida. Also, Trump and DeSantis may want to rethink the alligator deterrent. When I lived in Florida, I worked at a certain theme park. At the time, it wasn't fenced in all around its perimeter, and despite the presence of hungry gators and gigantic, mean snakes, people would still try to sneak in. They might lose a limb, but hey, they didn't have to pay. My point is, people will try to escape no matter what. This is designed to be political theater and cruel. And while ICE may not have anything so flamboyant as an alligator version of the Legion of Doom, it's plenty cruel already. This morning, we learned that a 75-year-old U.S. resident died in ICE custody in Florida. Greg Sargent, writing for the New Republic, details the case of Isidro Perez, a 75-year-old Cuban national who was paroled into the United States in 1966. Yes, he was a U.S. resident for more than 60 years. ICE claims that he was arrested in a law enforcement operation in Key Largo on June 6th and was, quote, charged with inadmissibility pursuant to the Immigration and Nationality Act, unquote. That's also known as the INA. In other words, ICE claims he overstayed his welcome or was ineligible for refugee status despite fleeing Castro's Cuba at the height of the Cold War. Now, it's not entirely clear what happened other than Mr. Perez complained of chest pains and collapsed. Paramedics were summoned to his ICE detention center and he was moved to a hospital before his death. Records show he had also warned ICE officials upon his detention that he had a heart condition. But here's the real question. Why was he suddenly considered illegal as opposed to a refugee? And why detain a 75-year-old man if, as the Trump administration insists, ICE is only targeting criminals? Perez is the 12th person to die in ICE custody this year, and it's telling that the budget abomination currently undergoing debate in the Congress would allot tens of billions of dollars to expand ICE raids and concentration camps, just like those that claimed the life of Mr. Perez. So, our condolences to Mr. Perez's family. And if you haven't yet, call your representatives and urge them to vote no on the budget bill. America in the 21st century should not be a land of concentration camps, arrest of peaceful 60-year-old residents, and alligator prison guards. And that might be the least worrying thing about the budget bill. We'll keep you updated on this story, the budget bill, as well as all others coming out of Washington as this week takes shape. This is Occupy Democrats.